Welcome back. I'm David the Good, and today we are going to terminate this cover crop, and I'm going to show you a method that works for ending a cover crop or ending a lawn or ending weeds, and it's really simple. At the beginning of summer, we planted this sunn hemp out here. Sunn hemp is a nitrogen fixing legume, meaning that it's in the bean and pea family. It's actually crotalaria. This crotalaria, this sunn hemp here, it's done. Okay, it's been really hot. We had multiple months of miserable hot weather, and it's been very droughty, getting about 1 inch of rain per month. It's been terrible for this time of year. Normally, when we would put in sunn hemp at the beginning of summer after we harvested out our cool season crops, the sunn hemp would get very tall and thick. This is thin, and it did not make near the biomass as when we did it before. It's kind of ridiculously bad, but you can see it still did some good work. It still made some biomass. It's in bloom now, which means it's setting seeds, and it's going to start to lose more of its nitrogen as it does that. So we want to just incorporate this down into the ground so we can use this area for something else later on. We're not going to use this area for quite a while. I'm just going to let this area sit until spring, but I want to put all of this biomass compost into the ground and have all the roots beneath rot down and have it be really beautiful by the time we plant in the spring. And so this is how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you the way that is this way that I'm going to do it right now. Any bare areas that I have, or more bare areas, I'll try to throw down this thin cover crop over, kind of just give it a little more organic material. I have a patchy thin spot and just kind of somewhat evenly distribute it. My old one. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Now we've covered the entire area with this woven nursery fabric. It's called DeWitt Sunbelt Woven Nursery Fabric. I originally was recommended this by a friend of mine who ran a nursery, and he said it lasts for a decade. You know, you can just throw it down on the ground, put your pots over the top of it. It's fantastic stuff. It lets the water through so it drains, and it just stays for a long time. So I have used this now for years, and we've used it for our nurseries and we've used it for weed block, and it works exceptionally well. I will put a link to it below, and I'll use my Amazon link, which is for some reason the cheapest way to buy it. And if you buy it, then I get a small percentage of it. So if you want to support the channel, do that. Otherwise, look it up yourself and don't use my link. And then you can make sure you give me absolutely no money. But I love it and I've used it for years. It's one of the few concessions to modernity that I use in my garden. You know, plastic. I don't like plastic in general, but this stuff is very useful. So this area now is going to rot down underneath this. The water can still flow through it. We just throw whatever we have to cover it and, you know, keep it from blowing around. You don't want it to blow around. You'll have to put more blocks on it or use those staples to hammer into the ground staples. That's what we used until we ran out of them, and then we just threw scrap wood and bricks and stuff over the rest of it. But covering the ground here, this is going to rot down underneath, and it leaves a really nice compost rich area that is just, you know, all the seeds and everything underneath just rot down, and then you have a blank area to work with in the spring. If you put it down in the summer, it really rapidly kills an area underneath. Like, you can use it to knock your lawn out if you want to, if you're gonna put it in a garden later. If you do it over the winter, it takes longer, obviously, because things are not actively growing. A lot of stuff has gone dormant. So you're gonna have to leave it through the growing season for a period of time and just let the sun bake it down. So then you have your nice open area and all the weeds have been toasted. Some weeds with rhizomes take a lot longer. Some of them are pretty quick. Like regular lawn grass usually only takes a few months in the summer to kill off. This going all the way through the winter, through the rest of the heat that we have in the fall, and then into the early spring, it ought to be pretty dead. So we should take a look at an area that I put some down on, let's see, about 4 or 5 months ago. We'll go take a look at that and you can see what it looks like when you pull it up. So you can see this right here was all grass. All that organic matter rotted down into compost. This is just a few months. And now we just have a stale seed bed here that we could plant right into. If we wanted to, we could just make some beds here or just plant right directly into the ground. But it does an excellent job. It excludes the light, but it lets the water through and everything underneath. And we just keep that organic matter. You can also use tarps. You could use black plastic like you get from Home Depot, or you could use those big silage tarps. I've never been able to find silage tarps in our area, or else I might use those, but these strips of fabric are really easy to use, so that's what we use. That's what we could get, and we've reused them repeatedly on different projects, and we just fold them up and put them aside, or roll them up and stick them somewhere else, you know, out of the sun when we're not using them, so they kind of get thrown into the garden or into a nursery area and then repurposed later on a regular basis. If you want to learn more about weed control, this book right here, Winning the War on Weeds by John Moody. This is a no-till gardening handbook, and he's got a ton of good ideas on weed control, how to stop weeds from getting into your garden to begin with, how to control various varieties, how to crush them down around fence lines, how to do all kinds of stuff. Just basically, it's like one method after another method after another method that they have used on their farm, learned from various people, experimented with themselves, and developed over the years of taking care of a family farm. And I highly recommend it. Winning the War on Weeds by John Moody. I will put a link to this below as well. Catch you all next time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out all the links and stuff, and like and subscribe and all those kind of things. We're almost at 300,000 subscribers, so thank you all for that. Catch you next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green. It's not good. My scythe handles have like dried up in storage. I really could use a proper tightening so it doesn't look like I'm fighting with my scythe the entire time.
Go ahead.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm David the Good, and today I'm going to show you how to do a quick weed elimination and composting thing and cover crop termination, and that sounds weird. Let's see. Welcome back.
I went to see David the Good. We listened to Portishead and drank spiced rum.